Okay, so restarting that video, well, not restarting, but I'm continuing from the video that I did yesterday because I picked up Crystal and Crystal was like, I was like, okay, all right, we'll just fucking restart it. Or not restart it, but end it. Where to leave off at? Oh, how we like stayed up at clock, like, I cannot talk. What the fuck? How we like talked and like had our late night talks and shit like that. Like I miss those. Like we gotta have those because like those are my favorite things in the world. It's just like I don't know. I like that. And yeah. And then I already talked about how like we went on like the movie date and like I met your grandmother. And then and like I slept there or whatever. And then there's a cop. What was I trying to say? Hold on, there's a cop. Okay, I'm good. We're good. We're great. Alright, yeah, we're great. So yeah. And then like, you know, I went home for a couple days. And I'm gonna hit this fucking car. And I'm not. But yeah. And then I'm trying to think. Oh, we would like talk here and then like I'll tell my mom about you and shit like that and like we would talk. And then like it was August at this point. It was like it was actually the day before Crystal's birthday. We hung out and like I slept over again and then we were like talking and shit and then like I was telling Crystal, I was like, yeah, like I really fucking like this kid like a lot. And she was like go for it. She was like, just take your time though, make sure he's feeling the same way about you. And I was like, yeah, like I wouldn't mind being his girlfriend. And she was like, yeah, I know, but like does he feel that way? I'm like, I mean I hope so. Like we keep seeing each other but like not like doing anything. Like we didn't even fucking kiss. And then and like the day before Crystal's birthday we fucking hung out and shit and then like we ended up having sex, which was like good shit. And then we literally did it like ass backwards. Like we had sex, you asked me to be your girlfriend and then I kissed you. Like what? And like I told Crystal that and she goes, what the fuck? And I was like, don't ask. I was like, don't ask because like, you know, I was like, if you just put your fucking dick in me, like why am I scared to like kiss you? And I was like, okay. And then you like asked me to be your girlfriend. Like I remember like sitting there and you were laying down and then you were like, did you want to be my girlfriend? And I was like, yes. It was cute. I was like, oh. And then I laughed because I was like, oh yeah, like I got some birthday dick and Crystal did and like we both did, but you know. She was like, what the fuck, Lex? And then and then like, you know, obviously we started dating and shit and then probably I think like the next week, because the next week we went to Danielle's house and like we house sat and I remember like it was the cutest fucking thing. Like that was probably like the most like nicest thing somebody's ever done for me is like sit there and like cook with me. And it sounds like really corny but like people don't do that and like it's really cute. And like I remember you bought me a bath bomb and I thought it was so fucking sweet. I was like, oh, cause you know like I don't have a working bathtub at my house, so like I knew Danielle and I was so excited to have fucking like take a bath and you're like, here. And I was like, oh my heart. And then we cooked chicken Alfredo and then you got sick and then and then like I remember we went to go get your medicine and in the car you couldn't talk but you grabbed my phone and you told me you loved me and like I wanted to cry because I'm a big ass baby and I was like, oh my god, but like I was so scared to say it to you. Like I felt that way but I was so scared because like I haven't said that to anybody in a really long time and it's like, oh my god, like I don't want to say it and fucking hurt myself or others. Like I don't want to do that. But like I remember like that night like we danced in fucking Danielle's room, or not room but like the living room, and it was just like such a sweet fucking night. And then, like, I remember laying in bed, like, you could barely talk, and you were like, I love you, and I was like, I was like, oh my god, I'm fucking scared. And you're like, you don't have to say it if you're not ready. I was like, no, I'm ready, I'm just scared. And then, like, I said it, and, like, I turned over and started crying. And, like, you didn't, I don't think you knew, but, like, I started crying because, like, I was happy, and, like, I was like, ooh, yay. And then, what else happened? We snuggled with Diamond, who you call Diane. And I'm sad because I was supposed to watch their house this weekend, and then her husband got sick, so I'm not watching it. And I was like, oh, okay. I was really looking forward to snuggling with that dog. But oh, and then like that whole like week, like it was really fun, and like I remember I went to your fucking house to pick you up from work, not from work, but like from your house after work at like 1 o'clock in the morning, and I remember I got fucking like at a DUI check, and fucking I had no pants on, I had no shoes on, I had a fucking big ass t-shirt and underwear on and some socks. And I was like, oh my fucking god, like, I'm gonna get a fucking ticket for this kid, and I'm gonna beat his ass, and then that's that. But no, I was fine. And then, and, I'm trying to think. Oh, that night we showered together. And, like, that was the first time, like, we saw each other naked, because, like, when we had sex the first time, like, I wasn't naked. I had my fucking bra and stuff. Like, it's still, like, you're pretty much naked, but, like, it was, like, it's different. I don't know, because, like, I don't let a lot of people see me naked at all. Like, Chris will see me butt naked. I've seen myself butt naked, and you've seen me butt naked. That's really it. Like, I don't let people see me naked, because I don't like my body. And, like, I remember seeing you naked, and I was like, okay, like, okay. Like, okay. Like, it wasn't a big deal. And, like, I remember, like, you were, like, so uncomfortable, and I was like, babe, like, you're fine. And then, like, we showered together. Like, you didn't even do anything. I was really trying to have shower sex, but I was like, no, let me not, like, bother this kid. And I was like, because, yeah, it was, like, the perfect shower to do that. And then, yeah, and then we ended up having sex anyway, but not in the shower, in her spare room, which I never told her. But, yeah. Trying to think what else happened. Oh, you finally met my parents. Like, not my parents' but, like, Joe and Mom. Like, for real, though. Like, you had, like, a dinner where she wasn't fucking drunk, calling herself MILF. And I remember it was so weird because, like, you cracked open a beer. Or not even a beer, it was, like, a fucking Mike's Lemonade. And I was like, alright, I'll drive. Like, it's not a big deal. And this is so weird. Like, I've never had somebody, like, older that, like, could legally drink fucking alcohol in, like, my house. And, yeah. And so I was like, okay. And, like, they really fucking liked you. Like, they still, like, they love you. Like, they're so happy that, like, you treat me so well, and, like, you make me happy, because, like, I've been in a really fucking toxic relationship before you, and, like, they're like, wow, like, you're really happy. And I was like, yeah. Yeah, I am. And then, yeah, and, like, my mom, I remember, like, you were outside, I think, with Joe, and I was helping her with the dishes, and she was like, I really fucking like him, and I was like, good. I was like, keep it that way. I was like, he's great. And she was like, yeah. And then I started school. Yeah, and, like, that was cool, you know. I fucking hate school now, but suck it up and deal with it. I got, like, what, 3-4 months left tops, so I'm fine. I'll live. What else? I'm trying to think. Oh, and then, like, our 1 month was really cute, because I think we went to the movies. Yeah, we went to go see, The Nun. We went to go see The Nun 2, and I remember I was being fucking spooked. I hate that movie. It's scary. I don't like it. I do like it, but it's scary. I don't like scary movies like that at nighttime, because I'm a fucking pussy. And then, what else? Trying to think. Oh, and then your birthday came up, and then I remember I got you the Wage War tickets, and, like, you were so fucking excited, and I was like, oh, I was like, oh, babe. And then fucking, I remember I got you like our matching shirts. I can't find my shirt. I'm pretty sure it's at your house, but I don't know. It's somewhere. It's somewhere in the abyss of our clothes. And yeah, and I remember like going and like you were so excited. And we went to Fridays and you were like, I want to drink a margarita, and I was like, then fucking drink a margarita, but I can't drive because I remember I got into that accident. Yeah. No, it was our 2 months I got into our accident, or my accident, which fucking sucked balls. And then, yeah, because then like, yeah, it was like right afterwards. And then, yeah. And then, yeah, we went to the concert. It was such a good fucking time. And then we had birthday sex after the concert, and I really liked it. It was really fun. And yeah. And then where else? Where are we going? October, November. Your actual birthday came around, and I felt bad because like I didn't get you like a gift on your birthday, but like I told you like your way tour tickets were like your gift. And then yeah, I felt bad. And I was like, I should still probably get him something. I was like, I don't know. But yeah. And then your going away party was 2 days later, and that was a awkward moment because I met all of your family at once, and I was like, hi. I was like, hi. And I was like, I don't know like how these people are, like, and like I like your family, like they're really fucking chill, and I like that because like some of my family's really uptight, and like I feel like I can't be myself around them, and like I can be like myself around your family, which is always great. And then we found out probably a couple days before your birthday. It was like that weekend before your birthday. Your date was being moved, and that was like, what the fuck? But like at the same time, honestly, like I don't know if I've told you this or not, but like I'm kind of glad it was moved to December instead of like you leaving, coming home again, and then leaving. I feel like that would have like made it more emotional, knowing that like you're leaving me again. I don't know, like, you know what I mean? Like I don't want to like, I don't know. Like, it's gonna. I feel like it would hurt me a little bit more because it's like, okay, like you're here for 2-3 weeks, and then like, oh, you're gone again for another, what, 4 months ish. And I was like, fuck, you know. But I mean, yeah. And then I'm trying to think what else happened. Nothing really happened in between then, and then December came around, and then we were going on 4 months, which fucking flew by. Like tomorrow's gonna be 6 months, and I'm like, holy fucking shit, like it's a half a year with you. That's crazy. That's fucking crazy. Like it does not feel like a half a year with you. But what else? Oh, and then my dad asked to meet you, and I was like, I mean, like I would eventually like you to meet my dad, because like I don't know, I feel like that is my dad in the long run. Like as much as I don't get along with him, like I still want you to meet my brother. My brother, honestly, like the last time I saw my brother was Christmas Eve. Yeah, that's how fucking long it's been. And he was like, where's your boyfriend? He goes, where's Matt? And I'm like, oh. Like, he's home. And like I don't know, like Liam really wants to meet you, and I'm like, okay. So I don't know, I gotta like, I don't know, figure out when I can go see them. And then what else happened? Okay, so then we get to your sweater party, like your family sweater party, and it was so fucking cute with your little elf shorts, and I was like, yeah. I was like, oh. And yeah, and like that was sad because everybody was like, goodbye, Matt, and I was like, and then what else happened? Nothing really happened in between then. And then Christmas Eve, you Christmas Eve. Yeah, you came to my step-parents for dinner. Or not step-parents, but like my grandparents for dinner. And you met all of them, and they really fucking love you. Like, Big Joe is like head over heels for you. And he's like, as long as you treat my granddaughter good, like, you're gonna be fine. You treat me fucking fantastic, so it's like, you know. And then he invited you to like come down to camp, and like, I cannot wait to go fucking camping. Like, I cannot wait. Like, we can go fishing, we can go on a fucking picnic. Babe, we can go on a fucking picnic. I've never been on a picnic, but it's like my ideal date is to go on a fucking picnic. And then, yeah. Let me not get into that. But, yeah. I'm trying to think. And then he slept over my house, which was fine. I mean, like, I don't think you ever... Oh, yeah, no, you slept over my house before. But, like, not with my parents home. Like, when they went away for the one weekend, like, you came over. But, yeah. And then... I'm trying to think. Christmas came, and he woke up with my family, which was like a big deal because like nobody's ever done that before. Nobody's ever slept over Christmas Eve, like nobody, not even Crystal. And I remember it was like really cute because like my mom got you all this stuff, and like I gave you your gifts obviously beforehand, and then you gave me a couple of my gifts on that day, and I was like, fucking A, Matt, like stop buying me all this shit. And yeah, and like we went to my grandparents again. I keep almost saying step-parent, like grandparents, so like I don't want to keep saying that. But my grandparents again for Christmas breakfast, and like we were all in our pajamas and whatnot. Well, not really. Were you in? No, we were in our pajamas. Like, we were the only ones not in our fucking pajamas. We're bums. And then, yeah. And then we went back. We went to your house. And, yeah. And then went back to my house for dinner. And fucking dinner was so good. And I almost nutted eating it because it was fucking delicious. And then, we went to go back to your house because you wanted to sleep there for the night, and it would honestly just been easier because you had to leave. We thought you had to leave like semi-early in the morning. Not early, but like 12, which is early for you. And, are you gonna go? Okay. And then, it was like really emotional because like I started crying because I'm a fucking baby once again. And yeah, I feel like you see me cry more times than fucking necessary at this point because it's just like, yeah. And like, I did not want you to go. I was like, no. I was like, no, you're not going. And like, you had to go. But, yeah, and then like we went back to your house and like we just like laid there for a bit. Like we just like kind of like processed it. And I'm gonna cry. Yeah. Yeah, let me take a minute. But, yeah. And so then, like, the next day you left, and then, like, it was really emotional, and I'm crying again because I'm a baby, and I'm tilting the camera so you don't look at me cry. And, you left, and, like, I was such a big-ass baby that day. Like, I did not stop crying. And, like, I remember I had to go to work, and I was like, fucking A, Kara. Like, you would make me work today. And then, yeah. And, like, I felt bad, like, when you left, because, like, I don't know. Because, you were like, do you want me to go in? And I was like, yeah. And, like, I felt bad, because, like, I know you didn't want to go in, but, like, yeah. Almost, like, it's gonna hurt, like, driving away. And, like, knowing that's the last time I'm gonna see you. Until, like, whenever. And like we didn't know at the time like you were coming home or anything. And yeah, get your shit together, Lex. And then yeah, like you went to the hotel and chat, and then yeah, and then you left. And like my crackhead self went to fucking Kay's Jewelers and sat there and was like, I want to try all these rings on. And like, being extra. And I'm really not like that, but I was like, oh, like, whatever. And, like, I took a picture of a couple, but that's whenever you're ready. Yeah. But, yeah. And then, I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think. Oh, I remember, like, getting my first letter from you, and, like, I cried. I was on FaceTime like with Crystal, and I was reading it, and I fucking bawled. Like, I hung up FaceTime. Like, that's how hard I was crying. And then, like, we found out, like, you weren't doing good. Like, you, like, were, like, depressed, and you fucking, like, weren't, like, up to, like, the PT standards, like, which I think you're fucking fine. But, I mean, yeah. And then fucking whatchamacallit, the fucking army was like, no. And then, you know, we were talking, and then, like, I found out you got hurt at school, and I remember crying. Because I, like, your mom called me out of nowhere, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, Cece never calls me. Like, it's always, like, a text message or whatnot, like, hey, you got a letter or whatever. And then I was like, that's weird. And she called me around like 11:30, and I was like, she knows, like, I'm on break at like 12:30. And she was like, so Matt's in the hospital. I'm like, what the fuck? And like, I remember like sitting there with Mo, and I fucking cried because I was like, what's going on? And she told me like about your shoulder and like how you popped out of place and like you were all drugged up, and I was like, okay, I was like, he's gonna be fine. And then Stacey goes, they found out about everything, like your surgery and your fucking blood disorder, and I was like, fuck. Like, I literally sat there and I was like, fuck. And she goes, yeah. And I'm like, is he being discharged? And she goes, yes. And I was like, fuck. I was like, honorably? And she goes, we're not sure yet, but it shouldn't be dishonorably. I was like, okay. Anything's better than dishonorable discharge, because, like, yeah. And, I asked her, I was like, is that gonna come back and bite him in the ass? And she was like, it shouldn't, because that's on his recruiter at this point. I was like, yeah. I was like, you're right. I was like, he did say that his recruiter told him to keep his mouth shut, and I was like, yeah. And it just, like, I, like, remember going to lunch with Mo, like, we went and grabbed pizza, and, like, I called my mom, and I cried to my mom, and I was like, I don't know what to do. And, like, because all I wanted to do, I literally remember calling your phone. And, like, that was the day, like, my mom sent me, like, that big paragraph. And, like, I literally remember calling your fucking phone, like, hoping you would answer. Because she said that, I think she said that she called, or you called from, like, a different number. But I was like, okay, maybe he has his phone, like, I don't know. And, like, you didn't answer. Like, it automatically went to voicemail. I was like, fuck. And, like, all I wanted to hear was, like, you were okay. And then, we honestly just kept getting letters. And then, like, really no word on anything yet. Still really not any word on anything. And then fucking I was at Morgan's house. It was like my first time ever driving up to fucking Cana Johari, which is in Narnia. And she fucking, we're watching Split, like that guy with like the multiple personalities, and like I remember fucking like looking down at my phone because like I went to go move like my drink. And, like, I saw your name pop up on my phone, and I'm like, what? And it said missed call, and I was like, oh my fucking god, like, he just called me. And Morgan was like, what? And I was like, he just fucking called me. And so I call you so I don't think I've ever moved so fucking quick, like, calling somebody. And I was like, oh my god, if he doesn't fucking answer, I'm gonna feel like a piece of shit. You answered. I was like, oh my fucking god. And, like, I tried so hard not to cry with you on the phone because you sounded so fucking sad. And, like, that hurt me. And yeah, and you know, we were just trying to like figure out what's going on, and like I kept asking like if you got my letters, because like I remember you wrote me a letter and you were like, I'm not getting any of your fucking letters, like I'm not getting anybody's fucking letters. I was like, are you getting mine? Because like I'm sending them to you. And I sent you 2 today, but I was like, fuck. I was like, why are you not getting my letters? Like, and I remember you wrote me, you're like, I hope you're not jodying me. I was like, no, I'm sending you shit, like. And fucking, yeah. And then, like, I remember, like, you were like, I have to go. I was like, fuck. I was You okay? And then, yeah. And then I cried afterwards, because, like, yeah. And then, I remember your mom called me, like, right after you hung up, pretty much, which was weird. And she was like, did you hear from Matt? And I'm like, yeah. I was like, he sounded so sad. And she was like, I know. And I was like, yeah. I was like, he's not doing good. And I was like, yeah. And, yeah. And, like, I remember I called Crystal, and I was like, oh my god, like, fucking Matt just called me. And she was like, no fucking way. And I was like, yeah. But, yeah. And then we're still just trying to figure out when you're coming home, because, like, we're really thinking by March you should be home, because your mom got a letter the other day saying that, like, all your friends went home, and, like, I think it was, like, your, not battle buddy, but, like, whoever went home, and now it's kind of, like, just you, and it, like, I was like, oh, Matt, like, oh. And then, yeah. And, like, you were saying, like, how they're, like, looking at your arm yesterday, which was the 14th, or today, and then hopefully they'll fucking wind you down to a civilian in 2 weeks, and then you'll be home. Well, like, I know you don't want to be home, so it's like, fuck. And, yeah. Yeah. And then I'm turning the camera again, because I look like a fucking baby, and, yeah. I'm so bittersweet about it, Matt, because, like, fucking, I hate crying. I know, like, you don't want to be home, and, like, I know you want to be at basic, and, like, I understand, you know, and fucking, it hurts me, because it's like, wow, like, you're so fucking sad, and, like, it hurts me, because, like, there's only one room for one depressed-ass bitch in this relationship, and that's me. So we're gonna work on you, and fucking, yeah. And, yeah. And, yeah. I just, like, I don't know, because, like, I'm like, oh my god, yay, like, you're gonna be home, and then, like, I'm like, fuck, like, you don't want to be home. That's how I feel about it. Like, I feel bad that you're coming home, and everybody feels so bad, and, like, I was talking to my mom, and, like, I had a whole fucking breakdown the other day, because, like, I had a really fucked up dream the night before, and, like, it was, like, bad, and you did some shit, and, like, you left me, and, like, you didn't leave me, but you fucking did some shit, and it, like, it fucked me up the whole fucking time, because I was like, oh my god, like, what if this happens? And, like, I literally started having, like, a fucking panic attack driving to school daylight morning, because I was like, oh my fucking god. And, like, there's still some days where, like, I want to call you after school, and, like, it's just, like, a habit, because, like, I did that every day pretty much. And, like, I remember the first day I went back to school, everybody was on my fucking ass, because everybody was like, oh my god, how are you doing, are you okay? And I was like, leave me the fuck alone, like, I don't want anything to do with, like, talking about this right now. And I remember, like, I literally got in my car, and I went to go call you, and I was like, fuck. And then I started crying, because once again, I'm a big fucking baby, and, yeah, and that's my life, because, yeah, I cry all the time, but, yeah. And, like, I did this journal for you, where, like, I wrote to you every day that you left. I started it the 1st of January, and there was a period where I got really sick, and I thought I had pneumonia, and it was really bad, and, like, it just, like, fell off, and, like, I feel like I'm gonna start writing in it again, but I haven't written in it since I found out that you hurt your shoulder, because I was like, I don't know what to do, and, like, nobody knows what to do, and, like, we know you want to move out and shit, and, like, yeah, and it's just, like, we don't know what to do, and everybody's like, oh, well, the most you can do is just support him, and I'm like, yeah, I fucking know that, like, he does the same thing with me, and yeah, and I have a fucking black line of makeup going across my face, but it's whatever. And then, yeah, I don't know. I was like telling like Crystal, I was like, if we need to, like, I'll fucking go to therapy with him, like whatever he needs me to do, like whatever he wants me to do, like I just can't miss school because I'm already fucking behind. And yeah, and I'm just like, okay, like, yeah. I keep saying and yeah, like I fucking hate that, but it's just like, I don't know. And like I've put off doing this video because like I knew I was gonna get emotional, and I was like, I try not to, and like the one that I had before, like I didn't get emotional in, and then fucking it never uploaded, and I was like, okay, YouTube, suck my fucking balls, because I was mad. And I mean, hopefully you'll be home soon, because we're not sure how your shoulder's gonna do. We don't know if like you're gonna have to have surgery or not, and like hopefully you won't. But like I was talking to my mom, and she said that obviously, like, I know the text message that she sent you, and fucking my hip doctor's also a shoulder specialist, so like you'll be in good hands. Like I had surgery with him, like he's great, or he might even just look at it. They're probably gonna do MRIs and shit like on your muscles, but like we were told, like, no, like whatever you fucking do, like do not go through like an army surgeon. And we were like, okay, like we fucking won't. Can this bus move the fuck over? And yeah, so there's my sad ass video. And yeah, but I love you, and I hate crying on camera, so I'm sorry I was a little bitch, but yeah. But that's me. But yeah.